Elyse, why don't you do a sound check for me and stop eating that fucking cookie dough?
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear your obnoxious chewing.
My obnoxious chewing?
I'm sorry, what?
My obnoxious chewing?
Are you implying something?
Mm-hmm.
What are you implying?
You have a particular way sometimes you eat certain foods.
You just don't like how I eat chips, and you're just a jerk about
It's
it.
not just chips.
It's just chips.
No, it's not.
What else is it?
French fries.
What's wrong with French fries?
It's the same sort of thing. Anytime you eat snacky food, you smacky food.
Vow, view, vow, view, vow, view, vow, view,
Vow to view, vow, 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 vow to view. Vow to view each other's movies, even though we don't always like them, but it's okay because we love each other and movies too.
Hey there, everyone. My name is Elyse Daly, and welcome to Vow to View, your doof media podcast all about marriage and the things we make each other watch. My name is Elyse Daly.
And I'm Scott Daly.
And together we're
The Dailies. And I am going to turn you down because, wow, you're loud.
You turn me down every week.
Yeah, and then your voice fluctuates like crazy.
It's called normal person and making yourself sound interesting.
You can make your voice dynamic without going really high to really low.
I mean, but it's kind of shocking. It's like, what are we going to do? You know? And then you just equalize me.
I guess.
And then it doesn't even matter anymore.
This is the weekly podcast where my wife, Elyse, and I each pick a movie and make each other watch it this week. And then...
You did say each pick a movie. Good job.
did. Then we
listened.
We sit in front of some microphones and we talk about those movies and we talk about ourselves and we talk about love, you know, all that good stuff. And Elyse bumps the microphone while shoving cookie dough into her mouth.
I did no such thing.
Elyse,
One of the two I did.
What is our theme for this week's show?
Scott wanting to make Elyse watch Land of the Lost, so what
guess.
other movies can we make him watch?
The theme is a dog in the middle of recording is coming to us to throw a toy.
Fetch. No, drop.
No.
Drop it.
The theme is don't play fetch with her while we're recording a podcast.
But she's so cute and she just wants to play.
She's going to squeak it.
No, she doesn't squeak. She's the perfect dog. She's not the perfect dog. She does squeak the toy.
Oh my God, this is a disaster.
No, it's not. It's just perfect. It's called reality.
This
is reality podcasting, guys.
This week on the show, we are talking about...
Drop it.
We stop playing
Drop
with
it.
her.
I'm done.
This week, we are talking about dumb movies that we know are bad, that we can't help but like anyway. And I picked Land of the Lost.
And I picked Bubble Boy. And one of the two is better, and it is mine. But it is okay. We'll talk about why both of them are good.
Well, no, see, that's the whole thing is we know
And
they're
bad.
they're not good.
But Bubble Boy is actually good.
No, I don't think so. But we'll
I
get
think
there.
so.
We'll get there.
We will get there, Scott.
But first, Elyse.
Yeah, what are we gonna do
We got to
first?
talk about the week. We're talk about the week we've had.
Only the week? Okay.
What do you mean only the week?
Well, I don't know. Last week we talked about the 90s. This week we could talk about dumb decisions that you made.
Yeah.
So
I know
Scott,
one of them.
Tell me what's like one of the worst decisions that you've ever made.
You're looking
We're just
at
spitballing this right now.
I'm looking at it.
What?
Yeah.
No, that's the best.
I don't remember. What's the worst decision I've ever
What's
made?
one of the bad decisions that you've made?
It's one of the bad decisions I've made.
Now, I don't have to answer this question because I asked it to you.
That's
You have to
not
come up
how
with a
it
different
works.
question for me. So
That's
this is
not how
great.
it
What is the
works.
bad decision you made? And then you've got to come up with a different question for me. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think
Anything
I've made...
you regret in
Oh,
life?
yeah. Regrets.
Any funny thing that you regret?
Regrets. I have a few.
Okay.
But then again,
What?
too few to mention.
Scott,
What?
you're trying to cop out.
It's a song. I'm quoting a song.
What song is that?
I don't remember.
Exactly, because it's not a real song. You're just trying to write a song here, and we're not about writing songs. We're about podcasting.
It's because it's a Jim Dalyism, and it doesn't tell me what songs they are when my dad says these things to me. Mm-hmm. I don't regret anything. Everything that I've done
I don't regret anything.
has led me to this moment where
this
my
one
wife
moment
is
where we're
forcing me
talking
to
about
talk
Lady
about
the
my
Lost.
regrets.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bad decisions you made?
I should have cared more about what major I wanted to be my freshman year.
I kind of thought you were going to go into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I had done something
Predictability.
different. I guess that's what I regret is being predictable. What do you regret, Elyse?
No, I'm not going to answer that because I
That's not
asked it
fair.
to you. What do I regret? I don't know if I regret anything. Sometimes I just think about it's not necessarily regrets. It's like I love like seeing how things play out. And sometimes I worry about I wonder about how like certain decisions that have played out differently. Like if I had decided to do this, where would I be in life right now? And that always fascinates me. So it's not like I'm ever, regretful of anything. And because I don't know entirely how it would have been differently, So then I think about how would it be different? But I enjoy where I am right now.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
I would hope so.
I do. I've got cookie dough. I've got you. I got puppies.
It's a little awkward.
It's all good. Yeah.
You do have cookie dough.
Brownie.
A lot of cookie dough.
Brownie dough, cookie dough.
It's a lot.
It's a celebration.
It is a celebration.
Yes.
And that's a great transition because
I
it's
know.
time to move into Roses and Thorns.
Rosies and thornies.
Every rose has its thorn,
Has its thorn.
just like every night has its dawn.
Dawn, dawn, dawn.
Every cowboy sings a sad, sad song. Every rose has its thorn. Yeah. Jesus. Elyse.
Yes,
What
Scotty.
is your rose of the week?
So I'm really excited. I think it was 3 years ago when I was dating you at the beginning.
Yeah.
I was in grad school
were.
getting my admin degree for education. And so I had the degree, but I had yet to have taken the certification test, and they're changing the test come January. And so I figured, you know what, I might as well go ahead and take the certification test, because as long as I take it before January, then even if I did fail it, I'd be grandfathered in and have until August to take the one that is the one that I actually, I guess, went through the program to do. And so I was like, I'll just go ahead and do it. So I took a prep class, and then I took the test last Saturday, and I found out yesterday at 8:05 p.m. that I passed.
Yay!
And so I passed.
Good job.
I can be a administrator in the state of Texas now.
That's good. Mm-hmm. My wife is going to be a principal. Mm-hmm. That's weird.
I think it's pretty cool.
It's weird.
Pretty cool.
Principal daily. Mm-hmm. The power.
Yep. Yeah. So
First, you
that's
got to
about
be a vice principal or assistant.
I don't have to be.
They call,
but
do
I
they
think
call
that's-
them assistants?
It's an assistant, an AP.
Is there no vices anymore?
No, it's just assistant.
Man, that makes that
Well,
show
I
vice
think in
principals just a lie.
Elementary and middle, it is assistant principal.
Are you sure you're
high
getting
school, it might
assistant
be
principal
vice.
and not assistant to the principal?
Assistant principal.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
That's
a
it.
timely office joke.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Well, I'm
but
very
yeah.
proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm so proud.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
8:05 p.m.
8:05. Yeah, I was waiting. So they sent me the email on Monday that in 24 or not in 24 hours. They said by 10 p.m. of the next day, you'll get an email to this email address notifying you of your test grade, and then at 10 p.m. it will be updated to the website. And I waited all day. I checked my email. I was at trainings.
We're kind of
I was
moving into your
bored,
thorn
and
here,
I just
right?
kept checking my email, and then it didn't come. And so because I had gotten my email on Monday at 8:05, I thought, maybe it's just something that's sent out in the system at a certain hour. So I'll get this email at 8:05.
And
Scott was like, no, that's just preposterous. Why would that even be true?
I don't talk like that. I definitely did not say that sounds preposterous.
I think it might be kind of how you talk. But yes, please do enlighten us. What happened?
It came right at 8:05. It doesn't, why would they do it that way? That doesn't make any sense. Why would they not just say it's going to come at 8:05?
Because
whatever. Congratulations, you passed your test. I'm
thank
very
you.
proud of you.
I knew 8:05. Yeah. So what was good
so
for you though, Scott? What's been fun for you this week?
You know, I want to talk a little bit about sleepy time shows.
Sleepy time shows. What do
Yeah.
you mean?
You and I both have television shows that we put on to fall asleep to. And basically the concept of these shows are shows that we've either seen before and therefore don't care that we fall asleep during, or just it's like a not a less serious affair, like not a continuity of story that we don't care if we
And
fall
they're short.
asleep. Yeah, they're short. They're a half an hour show that you just don't care if you fall asleep during. And you have been watching your sleepy time show for the past month and a half, probably,
I don't know. Yeah.
has been New Girl.
I love it.
And I've been kind of watching it because, I mean, I'm up much later than you. So normally you're up and then you fall asleep and I switch it to my show. I love New Girl so much. I forgot how much I loved that show.
It's a pretty cute show.
So funny. It's like so inventive. It never gets boring to me. Like it never like stops being funny. Even the later episodes, which probably weren't as good. So I love the concept of sleepy time shows.
Why were they not as good?
It just shows lose a little bit as they go. They start running out of ideas. Things
there
get a
no
little
Schmidt?
stale. No, there's always Schmidt, babe.
Was there no Winston?
There's always Winston.
Was there no Coach?
There's not always Coach.
Did he go back on Happy Endings? Because that's why he wasn't in season 1.
Yeah. You know that story, right? He was in the pilot, and then Happy Endings got picked up, and he picked that show, and didn't make
Happy Endings had its ending.
Yeah. Happy Endings did not end happily.
I liked that show.
I liked that show too. I was kind of bummed it didn't make it that long,
Me too.
but we had New Girl, so yeah. So that's my rose. I've
Rosie?
been really enjoying, and like I end up watching.
too.
I end up watching the episodes multiple times because like I don't realize when you've fallen asleep, and I'll watch like 2 episodes and realize you've been passed out for an hour, and then you'll turn it on the next day and you turn on one of the episodes I already watched. And I think
okay.
it's
You've
just
already
making
watched it before.
It's just making me appreciate. Yeah, I mean I've seen the whole thing before, but I don't know. It's just like I think watching the episodes that close in succession together makes me appreciate the humor even more because it still makes me laugh.
And I like watching it because I see you laugh. And I'm like, oh, Scotty.
What?
Just thinking it's so funny, but
And also, you're basically Jessica Day, like you're a teacher. You're gonna be a vice principal. You just need the bangs.
I don't
You got
want
the
the
glasses. You sing. You play a ukulele. Oh my God, you are her. Oh my God,
No.
this is really upsetting me.
Did you not realize that
I
beforehand?
mean, I just like I just hadn't
Who's
like
that girl?
Stop
It's me.
I just haven't I hadn't put all the dots together and Jesus. Okay, so that's my rose.
Yeah.
What's your thorn, Elyse?
So, I think that I have pre-established earlier on the show that I am a worrier, and I took my test on Saturday and then had not gotten my test results back and didn't know when I was going to get my test results back. And then once I found out on Monday at 8:05, I was supposed to get my email in the next 26 hours. I literally made myself sick.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
And that was horrible.
Couple things.
Yeah.
Number one, state of Texas. Just send the test results out. Don't send an email that says, "Oh, sometime in the next 24 hours, you're going to get your
26.
whatever. You're going to get your test results." So you just have to sit
Yeah.
there and think about it the whole time. Just
Yeah.
send them out when they're ready. Why do you have to send a pre-email to say you're gonna be sending an email? That's just mean. You're just torturing people. Not cool,
Exactly.
Texas. Not cool.
Because it made me sick.
It did.
It made my stomach sick.
And that's number 2 with me.
It wasn't number 2, wasn't it?
Stop it. Why? At least bodily functions the show. That's what this is.
It was number 2. Not a great one.
You do an interesting. So here's the thing that surprised me about how you
Yes.
handled the stress of this test.
Yes, please do tell.
So you came out of this test and you were like, I did everything I could. Like I studied as hard as I could. I did everything. And like, that's not the way I approach post-test worrying. To me, the way I approach post-test worrying is to specifically construct a narrative that says I didn't try very hard. I could have done more. And therefore, if I fail, then it's like, oh, well, I didn't try that hard.
Yeah, no.
But if I pass, I'm like, oh, sweet. If I fail, I'm like, it's okay because I didn't actually try that hard. So the next time I take it, like, I'll actually try hard and then I'll definitely pass. But you constructed this narrative that said I did absolutely everything I could. And if you had failed, that would just be devastating. So that's playing emotional dice. I would not be.
Well, I mean, that was the thing. It was like I did all that I could have done before. I studied. I took my prep class. I have, done leadership things on my campus and knew, like the order of things that you're supposed to do. And so I went into it thinking like, if I really want to be a principal next year, then I need to have already had this like thinking process in mind. And so that just is me. So I'm sitting down and I'm taking a test to do something that I should already be able to do.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that was the whole thought process behind it. So it's like I did everything and I'm taking it. And this is basically telling me if my thought processes are in line with what they should be.
And I'm not arguing.
And it's true.
I'm
they,
not
they
arguing
are.
with the logic of that. I'm just saying that is not how I approach test taking. How I approach test taking is the first thing I do when I get out of that test is decide that if I failed it, it's because I didn't really try, and therefore I'll be fine the next time I take it. It's like internal justification. That's how I've always done it. And then you're pleasantly surprised when you pass. It's like, oh, well, I didn't even try that hard and I passed. Good job, me.
Well,
even though it's
yeah.
probably not true that I didn't really try very hard, but you just convince yourself of that.
Well, yeah, because my thing is I did everything that I could, and so I should pass. So if I don't pass, then I'm utterly destroyed.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I would want to avoid. That would be
Yeah.
the exact scenario
No.
I would be trying to avoid.
No, I don't like that. I like knowing that, okay, well, I failed, and so then I have to recover from it.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's just how we're different, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, I put a lot more pressure on myself, I think.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
But
I
pressure
mean,
brings those
You
diamonds.
literally made yourself sick.
Because pressure brings diamonds. And I am one sparkly diamond. Yep. But that's enough about me,
Okay.
Scott. So what was so bad about your week?
I have to go to work next week.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do.
I know. It's Thanksgiving week, and I have a pretty flexible job, and I was planning on taking 1 or 2 or possibly 3 of the days, Monday through Friday, Monday through Wednesday, working from home with Thursday and Friday off. And then I went to a meeting today.
And you did such a good
And
job.
I did such a good job.
You did so good.
I did so good that I have to re-give the presentation I gave today to more people.
How
on
awful is
Tuesday.
that? You do something good, so they reward you with showing how good you are to other people.
Yeah, they reward me with making me go to work. Who has a board meeting on Thanksgiving week?
These people?
I'm un-American.
I mean, isn't that the American dream?
Work
To just work?
to just work constantly.
Isn't
Yeah,
that it,
probably
though?
is
Yeah,
it.
I think it
That
is.
probably is it. Yeah, so that's my bummer. It's a lot less interesting than yours, but
Yeah.
it's kind of like a first world problem
Yeah.
complaint. Like, I gotta go to work and
Ugh, I have a job.
Aw. Okay, so that
Yeah.
is our
The
roses
conclusion of Roses and Thornies.
and our thorns.
Yes, and so now we have our other thorns because that was not each other's one thorn this week. The other one was that we had to watch these movies.
Which, I mean, for the most part, we have picked movies that we hope that the other person will like.
And I know you like Bubble Boy.
That's not what I'm getting at all.
Yes, I mean it is.
With some exceptions, like when we did the horror month, like I kind of figured you weren't going to like these movies, but I hope you at least see like a reason why I do. These are
Yeah.
movies, I think the whole concept of the theme is like, these are bad movies. Like, they're just bad movies, but don't challenge my theme. It's bad. It's a bad movie, at least. But we like everyone has movies they know are bad, but they love anyway. And I think sharing those movies with people is important. And so that was the whole concept behind this week. So Elyse, talk to me about Bubble Boy. Talk to me about the movie you picked.
Okay, so we're starting this new thing, guys.
Yeah. So
where each other writes the summary for the movie. So because I picked the movie and it was Scott's turn to watch it, Scott wrote the summary for the movie so that we have better summaries than IMDb.
yeah.
So the first movie review written by yours truly, Scott Daly.
You can't say yours.
I know I can't really
That's
say
not
yours
right.
truly because it's not me.
My truly. Me truly.
My wonderful loves truly.
This is a mess. Just
I
read.
know.
Just read.
Anyways,
the summary.
it's about as much of a mess as these movies. So, Bubble Boy, written by Cinco Paul and Ken Dario, Despicable Me, Horton Hears a Who, and directed by Blair Hayes. Bubble Boy is a 2001 movie about Jimmy, played by Jake Gyllenhaal in the say yes to literally everything offered stage of his career. Jimmy was born without immunities and is therefore relegated to living inside a protective bubble, doted on by his overbearing mother. That is, until Jimmy falls in love with his beautiful neighbor, Chloe, who inexplicably likes him even though he refuses to comb his hair. When Chloe decides to get married to someone that she can actually touch, Jimmy builds a portable bubble and goes on a cross-country adventure to stop the marriage and profess his marriage to a girl.
That was supposed to be love.
His love to a girl who has never smelled him. Along the way, he meets a wild cast of characters, including crazy white people, stereotypical Hispanic bikers, stereotypical Indian ice cream salesmen, stereotypical circus freaks, and stereotypical Asian mud wrestling hosts. It basically solves racism. Wow. What a movie.
I think that's a pretty good summary of Bubble Boy.
You know,
I think it's pretty spot
it's got
on.
its moments.
Except when I wrote marriage instead of love. Because I'm
That's
just
okay.
so
I might have typos in mine too.
You probably.
I probably do.
So that's Bubble Boy. So at least talk
Yeah.
to me about why you love this movie so
I
much.
don't know what originally made me and my older sister watch this movie. It was something happened with, I think maybe it was like during my Jake Gyllenhaal craze, because Jake Gyllenhaal was like my thing in high school. And so I think we were going through maybe like movies that he had been in before, and we thought Bubble Boy. Okay, let's see Bubble Boy.
Yeah, but he's not even good looking in this movie. He looks gross.
I know. But then it was our mission to find Bubble Boy. And nowhere sold Bubble Boy.
Wow, I wonder
We
why.
went to like Best Buy after Best Buy. I think that might have been when Blockbuster was still around and we were trying to find it in a Blockbuster just to rent it. And we literally went everywhere and nowhere had it. And then we went to Half Price and we found it. And
Is
it
that
was
the DVD
like,
we watch it on?
yes,
That DVD?
yes, it was that one. And it was like glowing on the shelf. And we realized, oh, it's Bubble Boy. And so then we bought it and we watched it. And it was just like, it's one of those things I'll remember. We couldn't find it. We wanted to watch it. I don't know why we picked that movie to try and find. But we did, and we got it. And then we watched it. And we thought it was so funny. We just thought it was like the weirdest, most wonderful thing.
I think so much of this, and I think we're going to have a very similar story with this, but so much of liking bad movies is just the people you're with the first time you see them.
That's
right?
probably true. And the context behind it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, I think it also like there are parts that I find and maybe appreciate more humor in this because I do come from a religious background. And so like the mother and her like intense devoutness for her religion to the extreme, I find that comical. And then the the Fabio, the
cult,
bright,
the cult. Yeah.
shiny and bright,
The crazy white people
the
cult.
bright and shiny. Those people, I mean, like I'm familiar with, that type of group and all of and so it's like each of those, I think I had understood them. And so like that humor I bought into a lot more also. And so I think it was just like the combination of all of those things just was perfect at the time. And so now I will always appreciate and love Bubble Boy.
It's interesting because like as much as his mom is like super strict and conservative and like, I mean, literally traps him inside of a bubble for his entire life, she like doesn't stop the neighbor from coming over, right? Like she's like totally against the neighbor. She calls her like the whore that lives next door or something like that. But like she's hanging out at his place all the time. Like she doesn't stop them. And I like to think of that as the John Carroll Lynch effect, because the only part of this movie that I treasure is John Carroll Lynch as his father, who is just this completely silent. He I think he has one line in the entire movie. He's just kind of like rolling through, and like he obviously cares very deeply about his son. He loves him very much, and it's him that finally makes his wife reveal the secret at the end, which is that he doesn't actually not have immunities. He developed them when he was 4 years old and has been able to live outside the bubble the whole time. He's just a wonderful character, and I love when him and Jake Gyllenhaal are together. Like in Zodiac.
I don't know if you had read or realized that this the dad was actually supposed to be written out of the movie.
Oh,
and
really?
then there were so many actors that came in that did a fantastic job with the part that it was supposed to be, that they kept him. And that he even was supposed to have no lines even after he was kept. And then after the way that he played
John
the
Carroll
character,
Lynch.
they decided to give him the lines in the movie.
John Carroll Lynch, I think, is one of the world's best character actors. I think he's just great in everything he does. Like literally everything. He's wonderful. And I like that Zodiac is a Bubble Boy reunion for those two characters, where Jake Gyllenhaal has to stand out John Carroll Lynch.
I wonder if they like appreciated and had some, campfire chats over.
Okay, so this movie's bad, right? Like this is not a good movie. It's like
I mean, I think it's a good one.
it is very much one
I
of
think
those
it's fun.
It is very much one of those early 2000s late teen comedy movies that's just kind of
And what's
nonsense.
wrong with that?
Well, they're just
What's
not,
wrong with
they're
it?
just not very good.
I think it's good.
And also, it's kind of amazing to see like how far
Jake Gyllenhaal has come.
well, yes, but I was going to talk about like social justice and political correctness has come, because man, I was joking in my summary, but every single one of the characters in this movie is a terrible stereotype. Like they're like awful. Like the Indian ice cream salesman. Like it's just like the movie is. I mean, it's not racist.
It definitely teeters.
I mean, like none of those characters are portrayed as like bad, right? Like the $500 Asian guy is not like stupid or bad or like the movie doesn't. But he treats him as a caricature, and a caricature based around his race. And that's the same thing with the Indian guy. That's the same thing with the circus freaks, which is really, because I mean, like, none of those were real. I don't think. Well, some of them were real people, but like I think that the tall guy was definitely like a man.
I think that was the only real one.
And so, like, I don't know, it just didn't make me feel good. And that kind of stuff. Like, there were some moments where you're just like, hey.
Yeah.
I know Danny Trejo said this is one of his favorite movies to do because he didn't have to kill anyone, because they always make him like be super violent and kill everyone, and he didn't have to here. So
he did pull the knife out, though.
He did.
He had that motivation for those bright and shinies. But So Scott, I know that we typically try and get movies that people have never, or people that you and I have never seen before, but this one was not that case.
Yeah.
And so I have a special thing about why I like this movie. And even though I think you still feel as though it's a bad movie, you still kind of like this movie, right?
Yeah. So, okay. You want me to tell the story?
I do. I'm trying to get you to tell your story.
So Elise made me watch this movie. It had to have been within the first 3 months of us dating.
Oh, of course, because this is like the litmus test. If you can,
apparently, Bubble Boy is Elise's. Like, you can't hang with me
if
unless
you like
can...
this type of humor, I'll stay with you.
Can we just like before we?
Yeah.
Why is his hair like that?
Because it is the static from the bubble.
It's the bubble static.
It's the bubble
That's
static.
what it is. It's
yeah,
the bubble static.
It's the bubble
yeah.
static.
He must smell so bad.
He had a bathtub.
He must smell.
He took
so
baths.
Bad. Okay.
You saw him bathe.
Okay, maybe he doesn't smell when he's living in the house. But him in that bubble in that movie.
Oh, I'm sure that was
like when he takes the bubble off at the end and he's at the church and they make out.
Does he go to the bathroom?
Yeah, they asked that in the movie and they just kind of avoid answering it.
Glazed over that one.
How do you go to the bathroom in that? Oh, I gotta go.
Yep. Exactly.
Anyway, so Elise made me watch this movie. It was probably actually in like month 1.
Yeah,
like,
he passed, guys. He passed.
I can't believe you dropped Bubble Boy on me this quick. Mm-hmm. I'm like doing like Ghostbusters, and you're like Bubble Boy.
Yep.
Anyway, so you did that. We've talked about the fact that we've been dating for about 5 months. 3, 4, not
April, May, June, July.
3.5 months. Before you took the entirety of July.
2.5 weeks.
3 weeks. It was 3 weeks. And you went to Europe with your
gallivanting
friends.
around Europe.
You'd never been to Europe before.
My younger 20s.
Oh, come on. It was 3 years ago. Let's not freak out. So you were gone for 3 weeks. We hadn't been dating very long. We were very much in like,
Scott was wanting to take a break, and I said no.
That's not what happened. It's not what happened. We're very much in new relationship time. So you're gone.
Yeah.
And I missed
He
you.
missed me, guys.
And I'm sitting by myself alone on a Saturday night. It was probably a weekday. It makes it sound sadder if it's a Saturday.
Yeah.
And I'm flipping through channels, and what's on a movie channel? It's Bubble Boy.
It's Bubble Boy.
And I watched the whole movie.
And at that point, he
I
realized
missed you.
He loved me.
And that's when I realized I was in love with Elise. When
he watched Bubble Boy.
To watch Bubble Boy.
Yeah. This is a really important movie for us, guys.
So I can't hate this movie. I mean,
Bubble Boy brings out the love in us all.
It does. And it cured racism.
Yeah. 2 good things.
So I can't hate this movie. I don't like this movie. I don't think it's very good. I'm glad Jake Gyllenhaal has a very successful career. I can't so he was in October Sky. He was in Donnie Darko, and then it was this movie. It's kind of crazy.
He was in October Sky, this movie, and then Donnie Darko?
No. October Sky, Donnie Darko, and then this movie. This was his Donnie Darko follow-up. But I mean,
you see, you would have thought it was the other way around.
That's first of all, Donnie Darko was not like a huge hit, right? It's like a cult classic type movie, but it was not like, oh my God, this person now. He was very much in the phase of his career where, like I said, he said yes to anything that was offered because they were offering things. But I will say, I think Jake Gyllenhaal had a pretty good time making this movie.
Oh, he had a blast making this movie.
I think he had fun in the bubble suit. I think he enjoyed wearing the bubble suit. And I wonder what present day, 17 years later, this movie's 17 years old.
Oh my gosh, it's so
17 years later, what Jake Gyllenhaal has to say about
I told you that I was reading stuff about it, and he loved being in the bubble suit so much that whenever he was supposed to like run or walk around in takes, he would just fall. Just because he thought it was fun to fall in the bubble suit. Which I totally would agree with. Like if I'm in a bubble and I can just fall and it not hurt and I'm just like floating around, I would totally fall in a bubble suit too.
You know what else I appreciate about this movie?
What?
The design of the bubble suit.
It's just a bubble.
It's like I love it. Like it's got all the weird random nozzles and tubes and like it's got the armholes he can put his arm through, and it's like all supported on his suspenders, right? So he's like holding up the bubble via suspenders. And then it's got his decontamination backpack, which is just like a zipper backpack, which he presses a button to decontaminate, but I don't know what's really going on.
I think it's just a sticker.
But it's just No, because he presses it and it makes like a noise. Like when he takes the ice cream.
No, it's just a sticker.
Yeah, so that's
Psh, that's all it does.
Bubble Boy.
Psh. Yeah, so that's Bubble Boy. So everyone watch it. If you need to fall in love, just watch Bubble Boy.
That's not the lesson.
I think that's the takeaway.
I don't think so.
The big takeaway.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yes.
So let's move on to the second movie
To
of the
your
night. Let's
movie,
move on
Scott.
to my movie.
Yes.
So I picked 2009's Land of the Lost. And now I shall read.
I didn't read back through this, so I hope it's not like completely awful.
Now I shall read through
Okay.
Elise's summary of the movie. Land of the Lost. Will Ferrell pretends to be Dr. Rick Marshall in a remake of a TV show also by the same name? There's a question mark there. So, yes.
Because who knew?
Yes. This time, Will Ferrell plays the same comedic character, except there are aliens. Dr. Rick Marshall and his companion Holly Cantrell enter the Tunnel of Love and are taken to the Land of the Lost. Danny McBride is there too. They all befriend a monkey played by one of the Lonely Island guys. An alien in a tunic sends them on a mission to get the machine they brought with them that transported everyone to the Land of the Lost, but tunic men and aliens are never to be trusted. In the end, Will Ferrell is pooped out by a dinosaur, saves the world, and Danny McBride stays with the monkey in the Land of the Lost. Matt Lauer is also in this and should now be removed. The end.
That's pretty good, right?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. You hit all the big.
I did.
You hit all the big beats.
I did.
So,
Yep. So that's Land of the Lost.
That's Land of the Lost, as you said, starring Will Ferrell and Danny McBride. Jorma Taccone is the name of the guy, the monkey guy, whose name is Chaka.
Yeah.
Chaka.
Lonely
and
Island.
Annie Friel plays Holly, and I can't remember what else she's been in. She hasn't been in any other stuff, but I think she's really good in this. Anyway, this is a movie that I saw with my friend Justin back when we lived together. We lived together 3 years, and did you just burp into the microphone? You burped into the microphone. That is so gross.
I did.
You are so gross. At least turn away. At least do the chocolate rain thing and not breathe.
We
into
don't
the mic.
turn away here. We look in the face of danger and in the face of our challenges.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We don't turn away.
Anyway, I don't remember if I saw this in the theater or not. Kind of doubt it. But
I'd be sad if you paid money to go see it.
the whole thing is that me and my old roommate, Justin, we lived together for many years, 3 years in college, 3 years after college too, I think.
So that's a total of 6?
We both love Will Ferrell. We both love Will Ferrell movies, and we find Will Ferrell movies absolutely hilarious. And I think we were probably a little drunk the first time we saw this.
I think that would be needed.
Yeah.
I turn away to yawn, but not to burp.
Great.
Yeah.
And I just think I love this stupid movie. I love this dumb, stupid movie. It's so dumb.
Okay, so here's what I don't get. And maybe I missed it. Is it okay if I pause you to ask this?
Yeah,
okay,
go
so
for it.
when I'm thinking Land of the Lost, I'm thinking like things in the world that were like mysteries that were unexplained and are lost. For example, when they first got to the Land of the Lost and there was the airplane, I was like, oh, so this is going to be like Amelia Earhart. This is where she ended up somehow, was in the Land of the Lost because she was lost from history because no one knows where she is. And that's not how it went.
I mean, not specifically, but that's the implication. Not like Amelia Earhart specifically.
Yeah, but maybe I didn't see all of the things that were like historical that were supposed to be like, oh, it just ended up here. But I thought, they're going to be these aliens that are just in here now. Like, where's Amelia?
Your complaint about Land of the Lost, the Will Ferrell,
I was looking for
Danny
Amelia
McBride
Earhart. Yes.
comedy is where is Amelia Earhart?
Exactly.
She was too busy in Night at the Museum 2 where she's a mannequin that falls in love with Ben Stiller.
Where is Amelia Earhart?
That is the weirdest complaint I have ever heard of in my
Well,
entire
that
life.
was what really frustrated me.
I-
was all of these people or these things that were supposed to be lost, and none of them showed up except for the dinosaurs, and everyone knows what happened to the dinosaurs. They were extinct. So it's not some mystery. They're lost. They're dead.
Elyse, did you
We
not
have
pay
fossils.
attention to the movie? The whole point of the movie is this is a place where space and time combined, where the past, present, and future all comes together.
But that's not what the Land of the Lost should be. The Land of the Lost should be the mysteries of the world that all ended up in the same place.
You can't critique the premise of the movie.
Well, the person that designed the Land of the Lost did not have in mind what the Land of the Lost should actually be.
that doesn't make any sense.
So that is my
First of all-
complaint. I
first
don't
of all,
like the Land of the Lost because it's not really the Land of the Lost.
This is a movie based on a 1970s television show that was rebooted
Exactly.
in the 1990s.
Exactly. Awful.
The whole point of the show is
Where's Amelia?
oh my
Justice for Amelia. Hashtag justice for Amelia.
god. At least I have some bad news.
What?
Her plane just crashed. That's it.
But where is she?
She's dead. Her plane crashed
Where's
into
her plane?
the ocean.
I don't know if we have proof.
Because it was oh my god.
What?
This is the most ridiculous
I bet you
conversation.
think that we really went to the moon too, don't you?
Yes, I
You
do.
think that we landed on the moon in 1969, and that is not true, sir.
We
The
went-
camera angles are all wrong. You know what the next thing you're going to tell me? The world is round.
Man, you're taking some bold stances today.
It's not round.
Okay,
No. Maps, they lay flat on the table.
that's true. I can't
so the
argue
world
with
has
that.
to be flat.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah,
You want to talk about the movie?
I am.
Are you?
Yeah.
At
There's
least
no way they could have gone to the Land of the Lost. It's just a flat plane.
the thing about this movie is, and Will Ferrell movies in general, all I want to do is like quote the parts that are funny, and that's never a good thing to do
No.
because it's never as funny when you just
No.
quote it to someone. But there are so many great Will Ferrell moments in this movie. There's so many great Danny McBride moments in this movie.
I enjoyed Danny McBride a lot more than I enjoyed Will Ferrell in this movie. I will say that.
I'll take it.
Okay. There's your compliment.
He's funny. Mm-hmm. I like when they touch the obelisk and start singing Cher. It's great.
It's a good time. Those show tunes.
Oh yeah, the chorus line, the recurring joke of the tachyon amplifier also playing his show tunes. They really tell the story of the human condition.
Yeah.
Look,
Which only one show tune is playing. And we're talking about show tunes,
it's from a chorus line.
plural.
I don't. Your critiques of this movie are very.
There should be
strange.
more show tunes than just the one show tune.
But that was the joke. I don't understand. Chaka's my favorite.
Wait a segue. Yep.
I love
Why?
Chaka because I love the concept of Chaka. I love like the Will Ferrell Chaka relationship where like Chaka is like actually really shitty to him, and like he's always like, I think Will Ferrell just likes to say the word Chaka, where he's like, Chaka, funny story, and then something like it's so funny. It's so absurd and stupid. Like the whole concept of the thing is stupid. Like the whole them taking the narcotics by the side the
Yes.
poolside. That whole scene just had me in stitches the first time I watched it. And I'm not gonna lie, watching this movie with you, I didn't enjoy it as much.
You know what I thought was funny?
What's up? What's up?
The mosquitoes.
You thought that was pretty
I thought the mosquitoes. And then the whelp on his back was funny.
Watching this movie with you was rough because you just had this look of not anger,
Disdain.
kind of just, I think, just disappointment. Like you were
yeah.
just disappointed in me. And look,
I didn't see Amelia.
this is a bad movie.
Yeah.
It is nonsense.
No.
Like the plot is nothing. It's just like a collection of skits that have
Yeah.
to do with dinosaurs.
Exactly.
But I love them all. I love
do you?
yeah.
You didn't this time. So do you really?
I mean, I do. I'm thinking right now.
It's not funny in all company. Is it really funny?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
uh,
If you don't make it, it's your own damn fault. I love this stupid movie so much.
I'll let you laugh at that because it's funny for you.
I'm not going to be ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of it.
Don't be ashamed.
Will Ferrell is hilarious. He's a great comedian, and he's wonderful in this nonsense movie. I love all the side character things. That's probably just Will Ferrell like making up shit, like that. Rick Marshall goes into a diabetic coma. After he makes a tachyon amplifier, he's just like a foodie and he just eats way too much food. He like stress eats food instead of like getting wasted. He just eats a lot of food. I like
that's real funny.
I like the. I was nice to Bubble Boy.
I know
I was
you
very
were.
nice to Bubble Boy.
But that's when you realized you loved me. So
Yeah. And this is when I realized you didn't love me.
No, I just love you despite of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's great, babe.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I guess I won't talk about this movie
No,
anymore.
please do.
No,
you're talking about the jokes with Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell is a good comedy actor. I do appreciate
I believe they call
him.
those comedians.
To each their own.
I do quite enjoy that comedy actor, William Ferrell.
No, it's not Pharrell. That's the guy with the hats.
I quite enjoy that drama actor, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jacob?
No.
One time, I'm only saying this because...
Oh, God. Here is a tangent.
This is November, which means the People's Sexiest Man Alive magazine comes out, and I will say
Idris Elba.
It is an annual tradition that my eldest sister and I get the magazine every year, and we look through it and we decide who we would best be paired with.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So when we were in high school and Jake Gyllenhaal was in it, probably around this time of Bubble Boy, he had his 3-question interview because he was one of the people that was included in the article, and he was fascinated at the time about the story he was reading about rice and about each grain of rice and the color of how the rice is white and how fascinating white rice is.
What?
He's a very strange soul.
It's nonsense, Bubble Boy.
Yes.
Nonsense. Okay, so that's Land of the Lost.
Yeah.
I realized, when we first started this, we were trying to connect the two movies together. Right?
Oh, yes.
We were trying to find a common theme
Yes.
between these two movies.
Similarities and differences.
And we kind of just stopped doing that. And then this week, it did it.
It was
for
like a
us.
shock.
Yeah. So, in Bubble Boy, the television show that Jake Gyllenhaal's character is obsessed with, that also his neighbor Chloe is obsessed with, the reason why they become friends and then eventually fall in love is because they both watch Land of the Lost.
It was crazy.
The original 70s version.
They weren't bothered by
Yeah.
the lack of justice for Amelia.
Not at all. I'm guessing by the question mark you put on your summary about based on a TV show, you've not seen either of the two.
I had no idea it was a
television
TV
shows.
show. No.
Yeah, so I watched the one in the 90s was on Nickelodeon, and I watched the 90s Nickelodeon Land of the Lost. They had a guy like Chaka, and then they had a little baby dinosaur, like a little mini dinosaur. It was a dad and his 2 kids. They were on a routine expedition, and their car fell into the Land of the Lost.
That one dinosaur
there was some
TV
crazy
show.
jungle lady.
You know what dinosaur TV show I'm talking about?
Talking
The
about
family-
dinosaurs?
I think that's it.
I'm the baby, gotta
Yes!
love me.
That one.
Not the mama.
Oh my gosh, we need to watch that.
Okay.
Where is that?
It's probably on the internet, I would guess.
Well, we thought Two of a Kind was going to be on the internet, and then lo and behold,
No, we didn't. We never.
it was not.
I never thought to.
I thought so.
I can pretty much guarantee that Dinosaurs, the TGIF show, is way more popular than
Two of a Kind was a TGIF show.
Yeah, after TGIF became a thing no one cared about.
I cared about it.
Well, exactly.
What's that supposed to mean?
You know exactly what it means.
No, I would like for you to enlighten everyone, please.
Elyse,
Yeah.
Were there any other connections besides the obvious
I
connection?
just wanted you to enlighten everyone, please.
What?
You changed the subject.
You like bad things that no one else likes.
I think you need to be very careful about making that statement.
Why?
Because I married you.
Look, I'm not in disagreement with that. I don't know why you married me. I don't understand. You made a bad call, but you're stuck with it now.
I didn't make a bad call.
You made a bad call, Ripley.
Well, you're just my bubble boy.
Awesome. That's great. Thanks, babe. I feel so honored to be your bubble boy.
Thanks. You're welcome. So, Scott, what are we doing next week?
Next week.
Is anything this fun?
Next week, we're taking off. So next week is
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
It's the week of thanks.
Yeah, our episodes come out on Thursday, which means the episode would come out on Thanksgiving Day, and we're just not going to do that.
Yeah,
we
I'm
have
going to
family
be
in
eating
town.
turkey and napping.
Yeah. So we're taking next week off. We'll be back the week after Thanksgiving, and we've decided Thanksgiving, the Wreck-It Ralph sequel is coming out.
Yes.
Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Oh,
And I actually think the original Wreck-It Ralph
it's so good.
is really good. I think it's kind of underrated. I think it's one of the better Disney animated Disney movies of the new era of animated Disney.
You know, my little sister's going to see this with us.
I do.
She never saw the first one.
You got to make her watch it on Sunday.
I know. I was like,
Or Monday.
It's okay if you haven't seen it. We can fill you in, but it's an actual really good one.
Do I own it? I think I own it.
I don't know. If you do, maybe I'll let her borrow it. That way
Make
she
her
has no
watch it,
excuse.
yeah.
No excuses.
Anyway, so we thought Wreck-It Ralph's kind of an underrated Disney movie. I think it's really good. So maybe we'll just talk about some underrated cartoons. Some cartoons that are actually good. Elyse, what underrated cartoon did you pick? I don't like that look on your face.
Well, here's the thing.
Elyse ignored the prompt again.
Scott may think it's not. He said underrated. That are actually good. I mean, I think it's good.
Do you know
I
what the
liked
word
it.
underrated means?
And then also, it does not start out as a cartoon, but then turns into a cartoon.
Okay.
So I picked Rock-a-Doodle.
Okay, I've never seen this movie, so it's going to be very interesting.
I loved Rock-a-Doodle.
I think basically you're just doing this week's prompt again, just like a bad thing that you like for some reason.
Uh-huh.
That's not what underrated means.
I know.
All right, so Elyse picked Rock-a-Doodle. I picked Disney's Treasure Planet. This is a futurized version of the Treasure Island story that Disney sunk a lot of money into and bombed horribly. It just didn't do very well at all. It was part of the end of the Disney Renaissance, their big moment in the sun. But I think this movie's actually kind of good, and I like it, and I want to talk about it a little bit. So that's what I picked, Treasure Planet.
I wanted to also pick another movie, but Scott had seen it, and I would just be singing a lot of the songs.
You wanted to pick Anastasia.
Heart, don't fail me now.
You can pick that some other time.
Courage, don't desert me. Don't turn back now that we're here.
All right, that is all we have time for this week. If you guys like this podcast and want to see more of it, you can check it and all the other shows we do over at www.doofmedia.com. Also, consider donating to our Patreon account. We are just $47 away from our next goal, which includes...
Who's 47 years old?
I don't know. A lot of
Find
people?
a celebrity that's 47 years old. See if they'll sponsor us.
We're just $47 away from our next goal, which involves expanding to video games. We're going to try some video game streaming, which includes Elyse streaming some video games. So if you want to see that, consider donating $1 a month or whatever else you can afford. Elyse, what's the name of that web address they can go to?
Patreon.com/doofmedia.
Yeah, I'm going to need you to be a little more excited about it, though.
Well, I was just questioning to see if I had remembered it correctly, and I did.
Remembered it?
I had remembered it correctly.
What is that accent?
My own.
Okay. Also,
yes, patreon.com/doofmedia, www.patreon.com/doof, DOOF media.
Is it slash backslash, like a slash and a backslash, like both of them?
No,
You
just
said
one
slash.
slash.
You said slash backslash. I'm just confused.
Let's just do both.
Well, then it won't
Well,
work.
I was doing a slash parentheses backslash.
Oh, it was in parentheses.
Yeah, it was not a forward
I
slash.
gotcha.
It was a backslash.
gotcha.
But don't do the parentheses in the web address, because if you do backslash, open parentheses, do media, close parentheses, then you won't get it.
You definitely won't. Or you can just click the link in our show notes. You can
That's
do that.
probably a lot easier.
All right, guys. Americans have a great Thanksgiving next week, and everyone else, I hope your Thursday is cool. And
Sorry you won't get to hear us.
yeah, sorry about that. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
That's a chicken, not a turkey. Gobble, gobble.
The fuck.